leave it to my home state of the Socialist Republic of Connecticut to not learn anything from the past few years, maybe 6-7 years. And that vaccine mandates don't do anything but sow distrust and resentment, and people like me still don't get them anyway. The State House passing a bill last night expanding the state's public health commissioner, his power to establish what they say are vaccine recommendations, claiming that they are now new vaccines being mandated even for adults. The Dems also want to suspend religious liberties when it comes to exemptions from school vaccinations. But I can predict how this is probably going to go. They're going to start taking things away unless you get the recommended vaccine. Want a hunting license? Got to get a vaccine. Gun license? Go get a shot. I will sue you back to the Stone Age if you try to do that to me. And then I'll just say no the whole time anyway. Like I said earlier, the libs go crazy and just let them. Let them. Don't try to water it down in the State House. It makes it easier to challenge in court when they pass really crazy stuff. Connecticut State Senator Rob Sampson and Press Secretary for Connecticut Residents Against Medical Mandates, Amber Webster. Amber, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people, including me, with just giving them the finger and not doing this.
No, I know. And unfortunately, they're making it as hard as possible for people to circumvent this. They are setting up the framework for workplace mandates, tying this to insurance plans, making sure that it's tied through K through 12 education, preschool daycares, everything will be affected. And parents and residents of Connecticut are going to have to make some difficult decisions to circumvent the supermajority's new healthcare plan for the state of Connecticut.
Yeah, which is not a healthcare plan at all. But Rob, if one thing from a guy from the outside I could plead with you, let them go to the absolute nth degree, make this as crazy as possible so it's easier to challenge in court.
I couldn't agree more, Carl. And, this is the same thing we see from the Connecticut Democrats all the time, which is, obviously they're going down the power and control lane. But I think they're also trying to do one other thing, which is they're trying to actually send a message to Connecticut residents, particularly Connecticut residents that value freedom, gun owners, homeschoolers, people concerned about religious freedom. And they're sending a message to them that they're just not welcome in our state. And that's why we keep seeing these bills one after another, just empowering the government and basically making a threat to people that value liberty.
Yeah. Well, and then people like Ron DeSantis in Florida will be like, yeah, come on down. We'll give you, it's unbelievable. All right. The government overreach, though, is actually, it's stunning here, Amber. It's like, and it's causing skepticism over all this stuff. But there's a poll showing that more than half of Trump voters are skeptical on vaccines, and more than a third of Kamala voters even felt the same way. And Americans are generally skeptical on vaccines, and especially when you're not allowed to question them. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, people have been skeptical, especially since COVID. Liquor stores were open, but churches were closed. And this type of public health policy is exactly what erodes public trust. We had over 3,000 pieces of testimony submitted to this bill, and over 95% of them were in opposition to the bill. Nurses, doctors, parents, public health officials do not think that this is the best way to go about things, and I think it's going to backfire on them, unfortunately.
Rob, do you just have a bunch of Democrats sitting in there? I mean, like, I'm friends with a lot of you guys up at that legislature. Do you just have these experts walk in and be like, I've been doing this for 40, 50 years or whatever, and this is my recommendation. And you've got some 35-year-old person who's never had a job outside of government being like, nope, I know better than you.
Absolutely, every day. And what's worse about that is that they're just making policy for political purposes. There's no actual discussion about what's best for the residents of Connecticut. It's only about how the Democrats can rig the next election by using the next big thing. Today we were
can't
talking
vote
about
unless you're vaccinated in Connecticut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, most people don't know that, there's 70, 80 vaccines now. I think when we were kids, it was probably half a dozen. So it's not surprising that people are concerned about new things, the COVID vaccines, the mRNA vaccines. This is a brave new world, and people should value their freedom.
Amber, if the vaccines work, why don't the people who get them just say, okay, I got them, I'm protected, and if you don't want to get them, you're not protected? Choice?
Yeah, that's a question many of us are asking. There's also a pending lawsuit going on right now with 3 families versus the state of Connecticut. So they're trying to remove some protections under the Religious Freedom Restoration Act while there is pending litigation going on. The whole thing is completely asinine. That's something that normally the legislature tries
Yeah.
to steer away from, making law that affects pending lawsuits. So
Yeah.
it's
Well,
very contentious.
you try to intervene with my hunting or gun rights, I'm filing lawsuit. Rob, Amber, appreciate it very much.